And I couldn't even see the rest of the game because the Indiana Fever shot the lights out of the gym. My goodness, man. It looked like they were playing with a no-name brand ball because they shot the Wilson off of that thing. Did y'all see the water park that they were playing in? The Liberty were literally out there drowning. I mean, it was raining. It's raining.
Forget everything you thought you knew about this matchup, because what went down on that court was pure statement basketball. The Fever didn't just beat the Liberty. They buried them. Wave after wave of threes rained down, and New York simply had no answer.
Hey, Breonna Stewart, where you going when Caitlin Clark dancing on you? When she out there doing this on you? Gardner, where you going when Caitlin Clark out there doing this on you? Give him the belt. Hey, Sabrina, where you going with Kelsey Mitchell?
And here's why this game means so much more than the final score. This is the exact moment right here where this young Fever squad stood up and told the whole league, we're not your doormat anymore.
Caitlin throwing up the big threes because they were absolutely knocking them down today, man. I didn't think it was possible for them to keep up the beautiful work that they were doing. But look at this from the corner, man. Bang! I mean, Sophie Cunningham coming off the corner, man. Look at this. That's like Jenny on the block. That's Jenny on the block right there. Knocking down that three. And y'all know what I said. Y'all heard what I said in that last one. I said get Sophie and get Lexi involved.
103-83. And let's be real, that's not a nail-biter. That's not even close. That's a full-blown beatdown of one of the best teams the Wnba has to offer. But here's the part that really matters. Why this win means so much for where this franchise is headed.
Let's go on tonight, man. Once again, stealing social security numbers, wallets, everything, man. Give it up. Look at this Visine work. Bang! Open up CVS. Come on, man. Get your prescription. We open 24 hours a day, baby. Look at this. Caitlin, look at the sauce. Look at the sauce. Throws over to AB. Bang! Look at how they're shooting from three, man. It was a straight water park out there. It was a straight water park. Look at this, man. Getting this, bang, get this block. Man, come on, man. That is a 6'10" big, and Sophie came.
Now dig into the film, and here's the twist. This wasn't your typical Caitlin Clark highlight reel blowing up your timeline again. And it wasn't even about Kelsey Mitchell either. Even though she torched the defense for a huge 28 points.
Yours. Come on, man. Look at this. Sophie Cunningham. Bang! Get her involved, man. Get her involved. Sophie Cunningham is going to help. She's going to help, man. Get her that ball. Look at her knocking down these threes. That's a free bucket. We're leaving free buckets. Look at this. You send a double, Caitlin's going to find a way to get out of that double, get the team going. Look at Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell from mid-range, knocking down the shot. Come on, man. Stop playing with her. Stop playing with him. Look, Caitlin started no-look passing. She just started cooking this team, man. Aaliyah Boston was getting downhill. Get out of her way. She's too strong. Man, hey,
No, this was about something way bigger. This was about the foundation Stephanie White has been grinding to build since day one as head coach. We're talking real depth, a bench that actually shows up, and weapons all over the roster.
She coming out as well, 12 points for both of them. Aaliyah Boston, look at this, finding the back door. Once again, Kelsey Mitchell making some Kyrie lays, man. I just couldn't believe my eyes what she was doing out there. I couldn't believe my eyes. And look at Caitlin Clark. Look at Caitlin Clark, man. Just what? How do you stop this? How do you stop this, man? Caitlin Clark just disrespecting people. I'm going to dance right here real quick. Let me dance on you. Hold on. One more time, man. One more time. Let me dance on you. Side step. This is just nasty work. This is prime time fever, y'all. Showtime fever. Look at Aaliyah Boston knocking it down from the corner. Come on, man. Kelsey Mitchell.
You will not believe the bench numbers alone from this game. Music, because that's where this whole story actually starts. Sophie Cunningham came off the bench ice cold and dropped 12 points, hitting an insane 4 of 5 from 3. That kind of efficiency off the bench doesn't just happen by accident. Kelsey Mitchell put up 28 points on 11 of 16 shooting. A perfect night from 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, music, and all-around masterclass. Lexi Hull chipped in 5 points on perfect shooting. And honestly, looking back, she probably should have gotten a few more looks. She was wide open in the corner more than once and just didn't get the extra pass. Mostly because Mitchell and Cunningham were cooking so hard nobody wanted to stop feeding them. Still, when someone's shooting 100%, you find a way to get them the ball. Then there's Alyssa Smith, who quietly put up 14 big points on efficient shooting. And once you add all that up, something becomes very clear. The Fever are no longer a two-woman show hoping Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell can outscore the other team by themselves. The team as a whole shot 54% from the field, 64% from three, and 84% from the free throw line. Numbers like that let you get away with losing the rebounding battle, which they did 39-27.
Why?
Because the ball was flying around all night. 22 assists on the game. They forced 13 turnovers while only giving up 11, which is well above their season average. Clark even started sloppy with a couple of early turnovers but cleaned it up fast. 7 steals for blocks. The defense actually showed signs of life. The one soft spot was transition defense where they gave up way too many easy wide open looks. We'll get to that. But step back for a second and just watch the body language on that court. That's not a team that got lucky. That's a young, hungry group that just figured something out about itself. And what happened against the Liberty wasn't random. It was the direct result of a calculated coaching decision that changed how this entire roster operates. Stephanie White made a move that looks small on paper, but turned out to be the key to everything. She moved Nalissa Smith to the bench. Now, before you react to that, understand what it actually did for the team. Smith isn't some fringe player. She's a former number 2 overall pick, a proven starter for years. Moving a player like that to the second unit is a massive risk. It could have caused friction. It could have crushed her confidence. It could have blown up in the coaching staff's face. Instead, it unlocked exactly what this team was missing: real bench scoring. All season, Music, the Fever have struggled to get any consistent offense from anyone not named Clark or Mitchell. The second unit would come in, and the whole offense would go cold. White needed to fix that without wrecking the chemistry of her starting group. So, she handed her best bench weapon the green light to attack immediately. Smith answered with 14 points on 50% shooting, plus the energy and scoring punch to keep possessions alive whenever the starters needed a breather or the offense hit a dry stretch. And once Cunningham and Hull got involved early, too, the whole team took off. 54% shooting from the floor, 64% from three. Let that sink in. Those aren't just good numbers for a professional game. Those are elite, especially given the sheer volume of threes they were firing. 25 attempts from deep, 16 of them went in. That's not the kind of shooting that just wins a random Tuesday night. That's the kind of shooting that wins playoff series. And this exact barrage is where New York's defensive game plan completely fell apart. Make no mistake, Music, the Liberty came in with a real strategy. Pack the paint, cut off the driving lanes, force Clark and Mitchell to beat them from outside, and dare everyone else on the roster to prove they can shoot under pressure. On paper, against a team that's been shaky from three all year, that's a smart plan. Except on this night, the Fever looked at that defense and made them pay for every inch of space they gave up. Clark drained 4 threes early to set the tone. Mitchell was perfect from deep, 4 for 4. Cunningham was unconscious from the corner. Even the role players who usually hesitate were stepping into open shots without blinking and knocking them down. Here's what makes it even more impressive than the box score, where it happened. This wasn't in Indiana. This was inside Barclays Center, a building where the Liberty have been nearly untouchable all season. Loud crowd, hostile environment, playoff-level intensity from tip-off. And instead of just surviving that environment, the Fever blew the doors off it. They turned one of the toughest home courts in the league into their own personal shooting range for 40 straight minutes. At a certain point, New York's defense wasn't just failing, it was actively working against them. Every time they collapsed on Clark, she found the open shooter. Every time they tried to trap Mitchell, she made the right read and punished it. The ball movement was crisp, the spacing was perfect, Music, and the open looks kept coming at a rate that felt mathematically impossible to sustain. And yet, they kept sustaining it. 22 assists on 37 baskets. That single stat tells you everything about how this offense was functioning. Nobody was hunting their own shot. Everybody was searching for the extra pass. Clark finished with 10 assists, which at this point is almost routine for her. What's not routine, and what should worry the rest of the league, is seeing the entire roster buy into that same unselfish style. Mitchell added 3 assists of her own. Smith was making the right reads out of the post against double teams. Even the bench guys were moving the ball, with purpose instead of forcing bad shots. This is exactly the culture Stephanie White has been preaching since training camp. Share it, trust it, take it when it's open. Don't force it when it's not. And for one night in New York, it all clicked exactly the way she's been drawing it up. Now, let's talk individual performances, because a few of these deserve their own spotlight. Kelsey Mitchell quietly put together one of the most efficient scoring nights in the entire league this season. 28 points on 11 of 16 shooting, 4 for 4 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line. She didn't miss a single three or a single free throw the entire game. That's rare at any level. Watch that step back three she hit, and you can tell that's a veteran completely locked in. Mitchell's been the Fever's most reliable scorer all year. But this felt different. This wasn't her forcing tough shots and dragging her team to a win by herself. This was her operating fully inside the flow of the offense and still dominating. What makes her so dangerous is her versatility. She can pull up from mid-range, attack off the dribble, spot up in the corner, or curl off a screen and shoot in rhythm. Defenses, music, can't lock onto one tendency because she can hurt you a dozen different ways. And when you pair that with a generational playmaker like Clark in the same backcourt, you create an impossible problem for any defense. Switch a big onto a guard, they'll get cooked. Fight over every screen, they'll get burned by backdoor cuts. Trap the ball handler, and now you've got too many capable shooters spacing the floor for that to work either. The Liberty tried everything, switching, going under screens, blitzing Clark on every pick and roll, and none of it worked. By the fourth quarter, you could see the frustration building on New York's bench. Breanna Stewart, one of the best defenders in the league, couldn't stay in front of Mitchell's first step. Sabrina Ionescu, usually so sharp defensively, got torched by Clark's range. Speaking of Clark, 22 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 50% shooting, 4 threes. But the stat line barely tells the story. What she does goes way beyond scoring. She bends entire defenses just by walking across half court because 2 defenders are already tracking her before she even touches the ball. That attention creates massive openings for everyone else. Watch how the Liberty tried to guard her. Hard hedges on every screen, switching everything, scrambling their rotations just to keep a body on her. And while they burned all that energy chasing her, Mitchell was getting wide-open mid-range jumpers, Smith was cleaning up easy looks at the rim, and Cunningham was standing alone in the corner with nobody within 10 feet of her. That's the real effect Clark has on a game. She doesn't need 30 points to dominate. She controls the rhythm of the entire offense just by being on the floor and making the right read every time. And as music, she keeps building chemistry with this roster, learning everyone's tendencies. This offense is only going to get scarier. Now for the part we can't ignore, the defense. Because as good as the offense was, this team is still giving up way too many easy looks on the other end. They surrendered 44 points in the paint, which is a real problem for any team with bigger ambitions. Music, their transition defense, was especially concerning. Hit a huge three, celebrate for a second, then get burned by an uncontested layup going the other way because nobody sprinted back. That's not a talent issue, that's a discipline issue, and it's the kind of thing that costs you games against elite teams in a playoff series. New York shot around 44% from the field, which doesn't look terrible on paper, but on tape they were getting to the rim far too easily, and Stewart was scoring in the post pretty much whenever she wanted. Honestly, the only reason this game wasn't closer is because New York went to brutal 6 for 20 from 3. Change even 3 or 4 of those makes, and this becomes a nail-biter. Stephanie White knows that better than anyone. You could see her on the sideline getting animated about blown assignments, music, even while her team was up 20. She knows this roster can outscore almost anybody. But if they can't get stops, protect the paint, and stay disciplined in transition, it's going to catch up to them once the playoffs slow the pace down. The good news is this is all fixable. This isn't a talent problem. They have the length, speed, and athleticism to be a genuinely disruptive defense. What they need now is consistency and a mindset shift, caring about a hard-fought stop just as much as they care about a flashy assist. Music. So, what does this all mean going forward? The Fever are building real momentum at exactly the right time, right as the playoffs approach. They now know they can outscore almost anybody. They know their backcourt can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. And they know their bench can actually hold up now. But more than any stat, this team is building belief in itself. They walked into New York and beat one of the best teams in the league on their own floor, in a hostile building, and showed they're not rattled by the moment. Music, the real question now is consistency. Can they replicate this night after night? Can they keep the ball movement and unselfishness going on the nights the shots aren't falling? Can they tighten up defensively enough to win the ugly games? 2. Those are the questions Stephanie White has to answer over these final stretches, because the talent is clearly there. Music, 2 elite scoring guards, real bench depth, and a coaching staff that knows how to use it. What's left is proving they can do this consistently, because the schedule ahead is brutal and every single possession matters now. So, here's what I want to know from you. Is this the real evolved version of the Indiana Fever? Or was this just one incredible shooting night that won't repeat itself?